Some stories are whispered, and others, well, they're held in silence for a lifetime. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's a story about a life just completely shaped by memory, by loss, and by the crazy power of words to both hide and maybe heal a secret that's been kept for 60 long years. Right from the get-go, we're just dropped into her world. And when she talks about waiting, she's not talking about waiting for a bus, right? Or for a phone call. This is something else entirely. It's a state of being, a constant kind of nameless anticipation that has defined her whole life, almost like she was born into it. Okay, so where is she now? We find her in this house in a place called Neauphle-le-Château, living this really quiet, solitary life. But as you can probably guess, that quiet, it's not gonna last. Her world is just beautifully isolated. Get this, she won't even name the trees in her garden. She refuses to put things into neat little boxes because, for her, nothing is ever really finished. The past, especially the incredible heat and light of her youth back in Indochina, is always there. It's alive, precisely because she refuses to pin it down. And then, a man shows up. But he doesn't ring the bell or anything. He just stands at her gate and waits. For hours, even for days. And that's what gets her, his stillness, his incredible patience. It's like he understands this secret language of waiting that she's been speaking her entire life. And this is where their connection gets so interesting, this beautiful paradox. He literally builds walls for a living. He makes things that are meant to last forever. She, on the other hand, is a writer who has spent her whole life tearing walls down, creating words that she actually hopes will just dissolve. It's this perfect magnetic opposition that pulls them together. So to really get why she's living in this constant state of waiting, we have to go back. We need to look at the memories that shaped her, back in her youth in colonial Vietnam. It's a place that really haunts every single corner of her mind. So what are these ghosts that are always with her? Well, it's the oppressive heat of Indochina, the muddy brown water of the Mekong River. It's her complicated mother, her two brothers, and then the big one, a defining, fateful encounter on a ferry when she was just 15 years old. All of this stuff is just constantly bubbling up. And this quote, wow, it tells you everything you need to know about how she sees love. She has zero interest in safe, comfortable affection. No, she believes in a love that's transformational, maybe even destructive, the kind of love that leaves a permanent mark on you. And he is the one who embodies that philosophy. The Chinese man from the ferry, he isn't just a memory. He is that permanent mark of devastating love. He's the wound, the first love, the one that set the course for everything that came after. But, even with all these powerful memories of Indochina, there's an even deeper secret, and this one isn't buried in the past. It's right here, right now, inside her own house. Every house has secrets, right? But here, it's a literal secret. It's a single room at the end of the hallway that she never goes into, a door that is always shut. And of course, it's the one thing the man M asks about. He can just sense how important it is. So she tells him there's nothing in the room, and his response is just so perfect, so profound. He looks right through her lie and says, nothing is always something. He just gets it. He knows that this nothing she's talking about is actually hiding a huge, powerful truth. And this right here is the absolute key. That room, that silence, it's not the absence of a story. It is the story. It's the very source of all her creative energy, the unspoken pain that her entire life's work has been spinning around. And then, we get it, the devastating truth, in just a few simple words. The silence wasn't empty at all. The silence was a child. So, finally, the silence gets a name. Anne. She was a daughter who lived for only 3 days. And her short life and her sudden death, it created a grief that was just too deep to ever be spoken out loud, a silence our narrator has protected for 60 years. Okay, so this revelation about Anne, it changes absolutely everything. And it connects directly to something we've seen all along, her obsession with water. And this connection leads her on one final, incredible journey. So she's at the seaside town, Trouville, and she just walks into the ocean. But this isn't what you might think. It's not about ending things. It's about letting go. She just releases her lifelong struggle to the current. And in that moment of pure surrender, she sees Anne. She finally connects with the daughter she lost, and she comes out of the water a different person. Finally, truly at peace. And this is where she finds her comfort, in this really beautiful idea of water memory. The theory is that water holds on to every experience, that every single drop remembers everything it's ever touched. And if that's true, well, then Anne isn't really gone, is she? She's in the rain, in the river, in the sea. She's literally everywhere. So what happens next? What happens after you break a 60-year silence? What kind of wisdom comes from that? And what does it mean for her life's work, for her writing? This is where we learn the why behind her entire career. She made a promise to her infant daughter, Anne. A promise that she wouldn't let the pain destroy her. Instead, she would turn that pain into words. Her writing, her whole life as a writer, was the fulfillment of that sacred promise for 60 long years. So this last manuscript, the one that finally tells this story, it's not really about creating art or being remembered. It's an act of release. Think about it. It's like finally breathing out after holding your breath for your entire life. It is the sound that finally comes after the silence. And all of this leaves us with a really powerful thought to chew on. If water really does remember, if the connections we make truly stay a part of the world around us, then maybe loss isn't the end. Maybe nothing and no one is ever really, truly lost.